Welcome to the channels. What could you say? Arsenal won, Man United won. That's bad enough, but we ended up losing on penalties, one miss, and we're out. And listen, I owe your mum an apology. You know what I mean? So Kai Havertz, because at the end of the day, he's proved it today. That's 2 open goals now he's missed. When it mattered there, a yard out this time with his foot, with his left foot, and he's put it over. The energy of the stadium went. Listen, I don't think we was great, Dan. I'm going to be really honest. At 0-0, when we went 1-0 down, you know, I think realistically you'd have to say that they probably deserved it. We never looked like scoring. Then we get a lifeline with a sending off. That was by the way Mourinho's only contribution of the game was to get him sent off. And then we score straight away. And people will turn around and say, oh, that was great, but I honestly think that it took them about 5 minutes to sort themselves out. In that time, we had the penalty and missed it. But I honestly, we could still be there again tonight, and we're not going to win. You know, it's the same old story. It's like, I'm not being horrible. I've watched Jaws 100 times, right? Every time the shark gets killed in the end, and it's the same with Arsenal. Like, you know, he might bite a few and then kill a few, but at the end of the day, he gets done. And the same story again, chance after chance after chance. It's the same story, and it has got to be addressed.
Well, listen, I wish Arsenal were a shark, because at least people might actually fear us, because I don't fear that team whatsoever. And I tell you what I don't fear is Man United tonight either. I tell you what, Wenger and Fergie, right, let's bring them both back, because they both do a better job now. Let's be real talk here. Yeah, the way we used to get up for them games, that Man United-Arsenal game, it's insulting at how bad both the clubs are. And I saw this coming. I said to you, I thought we'd lose today. I said that we'd lose in extra time.
As well.
I thought we'd lose it 2-1 in extra time. I didn't think that we'd be good enough to win the game. And I looked at it, I thought, our team, we got Saka out and that's it. Yeah, you talk about Calafiori and Nwaneri and Ben White, but at the moment people say they ain't in the starting lineup. So the only player that we're missing is Bukayo Saka. And for me, we are Saka FC then, because if that's what we're like without Bukayo Saka, we're a mess. If this is 5 years in, 750 million deep, and these cronkies are happy with this, and we're up here challenging again, then I want a new process and a new ownership, because I'm sick of it, mate.
I will say,
we're out trophyless again, by the way. That's what we're going to be.
When you say 700 deep, it's not 700 deep, because like if you look at it, what money have we spent in the summer? We actually made probably money in the summer. You know what I mean? Like
that's how much he's had to spend on this team right now. That's what we squad got.
Yeah.
We ain't spent enough. The summer's a joke, by the way. This epitomises the summer. Yeah, we haven't done nowhere near enough. We haven't got anything up top. We're blunt as a wooden spoon, not blunt as a knife. Yeah. It's an absolute disgrace going forward. You've got Kai Havertz, 65 million, 290k. I've seen him miss 2 sitters. Yeah, that Eddie Nketiah could have buried. So what are we doing up top? And we're sat here 12 days in and nothing's happening. We've got Man City, a serious club, going and getting free signings in. We've even got our North London rival Spurs, who everyone's laughing at for still being in the cup, by the way, against Tamworth. Yeah, hilarious, wasn't it? They're still in it, we're not. And they've got a goalkeeper they've gone and signed. We're doing nothing. 12 years in, and look at what we've got out here. Absolute disgrace. Marino, what is he? Can anyone tell me what this player does? I don't understand what this player does. He gets players sent off. We've got Raheem Sterling we've finally seen today. We're alongside them too, we've got Neto, who was just a backup goalkeeper that doesn't even play cup games. And we've also got Calafiori, who apparently is injured again, who's doing a great impression of Tomiyasu, who also come from Bologna. Another injury-prone left-back that we're buying, right? So that is it for our summer, yeah? We've got Bukayo Saka out, that is it. And apparently that's our best 11 out there. Absolute disgracefully. And I'll tell you this now, the manager, I'd look at him and I just think, you're clueless. You actually don't know what to do. You're looking at your bench, you're thinking, what can I do here? What can I actually bring on? I'm seeing Partey coming on at right back again. That works, doesn't it?
I will say in his defence, and I'm not sticking up for him by any stretch of the imagination, it ain't his fault that we're missing from yards. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, now people will say, oh, he's bought
who are the
those
players who are missing from yards?
Well,
he's bought them all, hasn't
he has. But even so, you still, you know, a penalty today, like, you know what I mean? We've had the opportunity, you know, that penalty goes in, we win. Listen, I agree. Something's got to happen now. Something's got to change. Either the club's philosophy has got to change, or the manager's got to change. Because we, as you say now, like we've gone out of 2 domestic cups. I know in a week. You know what I mean? At home.
Well,
right,
let me
we're not
lastly
out
say
of
this
thing.
before the guys come in. Let me lastly say this, right? Mikel Arteta's got till May to win a Champions League or a Premier League, or I want him gone.
Well, he's not going to. Dan, he's not going to win that with that front line.
Well, I want him gone then.
Right, okay, that's fair.
That's all. I don't think that's negative. I think
No,
he's been here for 5 years.
I'm-
This guy's had 5 years now. He's had all the time in the world. He's had £700 million to put that squad together, and people don't think that squad is good enough. So give the job to someone else then. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, it's not good enough, is it?
No, there's a lot of issues.
What are your issues? If you know now, like,
Style of play is stale and boring.
well, I've got to say that because there was through people moaning at half time. It's not enjoyable no more, is
It's not enjoyable. It's predictable, and if it's predictable for us as
That's
fans,
on the manager.
It's on the way the whole club is structured, I think, as well. The way
Yeah,
the whole
but-
club is structured, it's not just the
Well,
first
I'll
team.
say.
That's not just
I
the first
can't-
team, Lee.
No. But what I'm saying is, last season it wasn't like that. It was entertaining the last 2 years. It's not now, is it?
The back end of last season was entertaining. The first part was what we've got now, part two. The first season was very entertaining, but I think the team has got tired, stale, got bored of hearing the same message. The pressing ain't quite the same. The finishing definitely ain't the same. Teams have sussed us out, and we need a freshen up. We don't just need a freshen up of the squad. We need a freshen up of the whole first team as well.
Yeah, listen, it's all going to negative sort of stuff again. I'm going to come to you now, like, you know. Listen, it is. Obviously, we can get all to the negative stuff. You can see it, like, you know. But what I'm looking at today, the Man United today offered very little, very little. After 60, I think it was 65 minutes, their goalkeeper's not tested. It is down to tactics. I know he can go on, I know Russ and we'll go on about money spent and all that. I'm going down the tactics route here. You know, we're just not, we don't look dangerous.
Look, the team is built for Bukayo Saka, just like Guardiola's team at Barcelona is built for Messi. This is Bukayo Saka's team. He's the only player that has the sort of like licence to have that sort of je ne sais quoi, you know, create something out of nothing. The other players don't have that licence. You know, we're very micromanaged by the manager, you know, and without him in the team, it's like night and day. I'll tell you now, you think we've hit the, you know, a wall. There's more results like this coming. Remember, we've got
100%.
We've got 3 more home games. We've got Tottenham, North London derby. Now, if we're having this conversation like this on Wednesday, that's unthinkable, but that is possible.
Well,
now.
hold on a minute, because people will say this, and I'm trying to. I'm not being negative and all that. Like that Man United are in their league position and whatever. They're not as good as
Cup league.
I know it's a cup.
It's Cup league, and let's not forget, we're big in that. We're putting down Man United, but we need to be realistic. We're not as good as we think we are.
No, I'm not saying, but like Spurs will come here. Like people are already telling me, Spurs will be different because they're going to attack. Is that what it's going to take now? Teams are going to attack us.
Spurs will be forced to attack us. All you need to do to beat us is be pragmatic, make yourself difficult to beat, and then
exactly.
and then conserve your energy in the last 20 when we're knackered. Then go for it. This is how we'll lose games. That's how Brighton done us. You know, Newcastle conserved their energy. You know, like we're clinical when they had chances. Man United were clinical when they had chances. We really, really don't scare teams no more. In fact, I'll go as far as to say we haven't got over the fact that we didn't win the league in 23 and 24. Like all season, we've had conversations where we haven't been at our best. And at the end of the day, we've got the audacity to say that, you know, that it's only us and City when Liverpool are light years away from us. And you know what's really, you know, doing my head in? They don't even have to be great.
No, that is the thing. Go on, come in.
When we were flying, we were dependent on fast starts, and when we had fast starts and we got into teams and we scored first, it suited Mikel's game plan. But when we are having to take the game to teams and we're trying to wear them down, and we haven't had fast start. When was the last time we had a really fast start at the Emirates? Can you really remember?
Well, we haven't had it this season, like.
We haven't had one at all, and that's why the method is starting to fail, because we need fast starts so we can hit teams on the counter attack once we get the lead.
Yeah. Coming to you now, doom and gloom. I know that you can't get away from that fact today. What would you do to change it now? What you're looking at it now? What do you think needs to happen?
It's shaitan football, that's shaitan penalties, shaitan football that I saw today. 10 Man United,
Yeah, you have to say that. Let's get that in perspective. I think it happened in the 60th minute, so you got an hour to sort that out.
It's so bad. Not just an hour. We had the extra time, and when you look at this team and you look at the way they're performing, it's almost like they don't believe in what the manager's saying anymore. I truly believe that. This is not just off the cuff. This is something I've been saying. This is something that's been brewing. And the earlier we wake up to it as Arsenal fans, the better for us. I've been saying this. Operation Save the Cups. Because for me, these cups that we got left in the competition that we got left this season is more important than this manager. Everybody that's looking at this manager saying is the best since sliced bread. It's not important than the cups. These cups that we got left, Champions League, the Premier League Cup, FA Cup is done, is out of the window now. Who knows what we're going to do at St. James's Park when we go over there? We don't score that many when we go over there. You've been there over there with us. You know how difficult it is to score. When you go to Newcastle, they put us all up there in the stands. We can't even connect with the fucking players, right? How are we expected to go over there and turn over 2 goals?
No, I agree with that. That's done.
And we've come over here today, the only chance that we've really got our cup, and we fluffed our lines today. We fluffed our lines during the 90 minutes with penalty with our captain, the captain of the football club. You, man, have seen some of the best captains pass through this club. Yeah, they don't do that. In the space of 90 minutes, that we got to play against United and win. And we got our captain missing penalties against Manchester United. 10 men.
Yeah, with that penalty.
10 men.
With that penalty, there was a little bit of obviously pressure on, but not because it's 10 men.
Look,
there isn't so much pressure, is it?
When you're the captain of Arsenal Football Club, pressure is your middle name. Pressure should be your middle name. Yeah. When it comes to pressure, it should be water off the duck's back.
Yeah.
When you're the captain of this football club, Patrick Vieira, yeah, some of the best captains that we've seen at this football club, is water off the duck's back when it comes to pressure. And we see our captain today flop his lines.
Actually, not just a penalty.
In the 90 minutes.
I thought he
shouldn't even have got to extra time. He shouldn't even have got to extra time.
No.
And we have our captain today fluff his lines, right? Then we have Kai Havertz, 65 million.
No, not good enough.
On the penalty.
Not good enough today.
It's not even United first keeper. That's not even United. I don't even know what the guy's name is.
To be fair, I think that's the first penalties we've missed since Martinelli in Europa League.
You're saying to be fair, but I don't care. It's a penalty kick. We paid 65 million for Kai Havertz. Put the ball in the back of the net. Put the ball in the back of the net. How long have you had to prepare for?
Well, listen, he struggled from 12 yards. He struggles from a yard.
This is the problem. And they had three chances. 3 chances today to get us ahead in the scoreline. They can't do it. They can't. Bro, I'm depressed right now. I'm suffering.
I get that.
It's painful. It's painful as an Arsenal fan watching what we're watching over the last few weeks. This is not just today.
No.
This is Brighton. Brighton is taking 4 points off of us. We're going to play Tottenham in the middle of the week. Who's confident that we're really going to take points?
No, listen, Tottenham.
Off of Tottenham.
Tottenham's going to be a real chance.
Was you really confident that we're going to get past United?
No,
right?
I wasn't.
So this has been building. This has been brewing, right? This has been. We've been taking this. We can't take no more. 5 years into the process, I'm done with it. Get rid of this manager today. Operation Save the Cups. This cup is more important than this manager. These cups that we got left is more important. No manager is bigger than this club.
No, I agree with that.
Our trophy cabinet is more important than this manager. Get rid of this manager today.
Okay.
I'm done.
Well, what can you say? Harsh, but I'm going to have to say, it's good to see you, by the way. Anyway. So, listen, when you look at the game today, Man United 1 chance, 1 goal. That's the difference, you know. And is that down on Arteta, as people are saying, or who is it down to?
Strikers win your games, defenders win your leagues. And our striker don't win us any games, does he?
You can't argue with it now.
We should have won it 4-1. He should have scored 2 at least. You know, how much more can we watch? Well, look, you only got to look up there. There's a world-class striker. Yeah, look up there. There's one there, look. Tell me Arsenal Football Club have not had a world-class striker for a while.
Well, we've always had, like top strikers over the last year.
Top striker.
No. So this is where I'm going to bring it back on to Arteta, because I don't think he wants that top-class striker. I think he likes the player that plays neat little patterns and everything like that. And when you get those neat little patterns, it's great. But I've seen this so many times now. Like some people will say, and I'm going to hold my hands up. I've never been on this though. People turn around and go, "Oh, we're the top goal scorers in the league last season," and all that. That's not the issue. The issue is because you can go and beat teams 4-5-1s and whatever. I've seen too many games of this. West Ham away. West Ham at home last season. Aston Villa. I'm going to go even back to Tuesday. We had enough chances to win that game. It keeps happening and nothing is being done about it. I'm going to put that on the manager.
Well, these questions need to be asked, don't they? At the end of the day, teams have figured us out. You know, they drop off 10, 15 yards more than they would normally.
I'm going to say they look more dangerous than us and with 10 men.
Well,
did you find that? Did anybody else think that?
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
In a limited way.
if we win this game 4, we're not having this conversation. But we are having this conversation because our striker can't put the ball in the back of the net. And it is on the manager to change it, because teams are playing different against us. They're so compact teams now. They drop off 15 yards. They're basically getting to the edge of their 18-yard line and saying to us, break 11 players down. And the thing is, it's not just Havertz as well. Our wingers. I mean, how many times do our wingers go at the fullback tonight and get a crossing? He's 6 foot. What, Havertz? But even when the ball does come in, he can't even put it back in the net.
Well,
so we need a striker that's going to take these chances, and he ain't good enough.
Listen, I look at it today.
There has to be questions asked of him.
I look at it today.
I'm a big fan of him, you know I am.
As a footballer, we're not arguing about he's a good footballer, but like when you're down to 10 men, right, you don't want to see your centre forward playing midfield or wide right. You're down to 10 men. You've got to have some sort of focal point. So I'm putting that down to the manager.
Well, if I see my centre forward back in the halfway line and we're 10 men, I'm fucking telling him to get up there.
Yeah. He hasn't got that.
Look.
He hasn't got that mentality of a goal scorer. You know what I mean? We favour him. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
And the problem is, without Saka, yeah, look, you know, but I'm not having it just because we haven't got Saka. We're Arsenal Football Club. We shouldn't be relying on one player. You know, we should not be relying on one player. And unfortunately, you know, Arteta's got to do something different, because teams are setting up differently against us to make it really difficult. They had one chance, United, in 56 minutes. One goal from our mistake. But we then go up the other end and, 10 men, and we score. But then we could have had 4 or 5 after that. He could have had 2, like a yard out. I'm sorry, there's no more excuses.
No, there's no. Donna, quickly come in here because I've got to apologise to you. Come on, like, you know what I mean, like. So sorry, like Kai Havertz, you was right all along.
I was.
You was right all along, because once is bad enough, but doing it twice in 2 massive games isn't acceptable, is it?
Absolutely not. No, I've been telling you.
You have been telling me, like. So I apologise to Donna, like, you know.
Who did we get?
So who do we go and get? That's the question now. I do think that Arsenal have got to go and get somebody. If they don't, the season's done. The season's done. I think it's quite done for me now, Russ.
I think the biggest problem with Havertz, how do you solve a problem like Havertz? He was bought as a replacement, as far as we know, for Granit Xhaka, and that's just never ever happened. So then he's been shuffled into like a false 9, and then eventually to a 9. And how do you solve a problem like that? Is he the sword that Arteta's going to fall on? I did say this when he signed him, by the way.
Listen, listen, I'm not one of these at the minute that's Mikel out and whatever, like. But I can tell you this now, right? Hold on, right? And I know you're not, right? You was ruthless, absolutely ruthless with Ramsdale, right? Yeah, we got better. You've got to be ruthless with Havertz now. I'm a big fan.
I wasn't ruthless.
No, but at the end of the day, for me now, I'm done with Havertz. Yeah. He's had 2 games, 2 domestic games. He has failed. At the end of the day,
you've played for managers, and certain managers have got their favourites, haven't they, for whatever reason?
Well, of course they have.
And I think he's like the teacher's pet, and I think he will be the sword that he has to fall on.
Has he fallen on it? today. Listen, I don't see Arsenal coming back and winning.
There was one.
They're not going to win the Champions League, because I can see
no.
that there's better teams that are going to set up exactly like Man United
Harder.
and have a lot more quality.
Yeah.
So forget about the Champions League.
Yeah.
I look at the league; it's still there, because I look at Liverpool. They're not great, but we are a million miles off of it. When you look at it today. We ain't confident about beating Man United. I'm certainly not confident about beating Spurs now. No. And I'll tell you what, if we do beat Spurs, everybody, that does not make this right.
No.
It does not make this right.
It's another chuck-away trophy. Yeah. It's another trophy that's chucked away for whatever vanity or whatever that he has with his tactics. He has to change his tactics. He has to change. We have to be a bit more pragmatic ourselves and not be so much on the ball and pressed up the park. We've got to change. We've got players. If we score the first goal today, that's a completely different game.
Yeah, but you ain't going to score always first.
No. But what I'm saying is, so therefore you have to have a plan B. When you're playing a team like Man United, you're now going to sit in. You've got to try and draw them out, surely. You've got to sit back 25 yards and let them have a bit of the ball and then try and hit them on the break. Surely there's more than one way of playing football.
What would you do differently today?
What would I have done differently? What in that game?
If you're manager of Arsenal Football Club today and seeing what you're seeing, what would you have done differently today?
I would have gone more I'd have gone more attacking. It's a difficult question off the cuff. But when they went down to 10 men, I'm putting attackers on. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be as.
But it's like a battering ram, isn't it, Lee? Sometimes you could have every single attacking player and no defenders on the pitch. When you're playing against those low blocks, you've got to have a way of opening them up. And if you haven't got a clinical striker up the top, it doesn't matter how many attacking players.
No, we've had enough chances to win a game of football today. You can talk about tactics and all that, like we've had open goals today, Russ. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
I'm going to say as well, like we've only got Saka missing out of the 5-6 attacking players that we've got. This ain't no excuse.
It isn't.
You say that, but his level's above what we got.
Of course he is. He is.
Like Martinelli haven't, reached the same levels as Bukayo Saka. Martin Odegaard.
A lot of people ain't going to, Ken.
Yeah, but look, Martin Odegaard, since he's come back from injury, he's only had one good game. That's not good enough. But Kai Havertz isn't good enough. But the thing that really got me, we all know. Even people who've watched the game, who've played it at any level, like me and you have, the fact is when teams are down to 10 men, the first thing you do, you keep the ball on the floor and you move them around and play with spread man.
That is the one thing.
Yeah, but if you're trying to rely on set pieces and you're playing the ball over the top, that's not breaking down 10 men. It's basically
playing into their hands.
It's playing into their hands.
It's not only that. It's not only you got Timber having a shot from 30 yards when you got 10 men.
The fact is, he's got to do something different because the way we attack is too predictable. Every time the crowd are cheering, we've got a set piece again. Come on, man. That's not a team of our calibre. One of the biggest teams in Europe, one of the best teams in Europe, is playing that crap. That shit. Come on, man. Set pieces.
We've got to shut it down. We've got to shut it down. Listen, but I agree with that. Like, you know what I mean? We're relying on set pieces. We're down to 10 men and we're still relying on set pieces. I agree with what you're saying, Kenny. So, well, listen, January is still a few weeks away. Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, Arsenal have to go and buy someone. We all know that. If they don't, it's good night from me now, and it'll be good night from Arsenal as well.